You can call her Mayhem or Mayday. Talk shit, she at your head. I ain't talking bald face. She don't fuck with baby daddies, fucking up the feng shui. Taking care of 4 kids, Sunday to Sunday. Flyer than round trips when she hit the runway. Comedy original, she do shit her own way. Made the stage her place, moving at her own pace. Fuck with her the wrong way, this gon' be a long day. She watch Basketball Wives, loving hip hop too. Born in 81, one day forward turned to 82. Funny, ratchet, and cute. She a winner, that's true. She don't even take L's, eating alphabet soup. Mayday, mayhem, 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 Mayday, mayhem. She a cool black nerd, always been smart. Ever since she turned 8, wanted her name in the charts. Monty Python was a shit, Richard Pryor made a star. Red Fox and Eddie Murphy, inspiration to her art. Who you know got banned from the dollar store for throwing canned goods at a baby father though? She a good mother though. She ain't worried about laughs cause she gon' get a lot of those. Showtime at the Apollo though. And she paint the perfect picture, telling stories up in all the jokes. You don't really want the drama, bro, cause Mabel cool, Mayday nice, Mayday want all the smoke. Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem.
And welcome back to the Mayday Mayhem podcast, and I am your host, Mayday Mayhem M. And today on our podcast, we will be talking about quite a few things. Yeah, we will be talking about the very recent killings and very senseless murders of Chicago known rapper King Von and also MO3. We will talk about those known rappers, and also on top of that, the shooting of Lil Boosie. He was also shot during this time, during the morning of Mo3's death in Dallas, Texas. And we're also going to pay respect to Glenn Johnson. And if you do not know, Glenn Johnson is DaBaby's brother. He ultimately took his life to a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And we're just going to touch on the struggles of, depression, and, how sometimes it's hard for us as just human beings alone just to feel as though we want to or need to have someone to talk to. So that's what we will be discussing today on the Mayday Mayhem podcast. And yes, we are back. And we are talking about the untimely and senseless murder of Chicago known rapper King Von. He was killed November 6th, Atlanta, Georgia. And ultimately, his murderer has been allegedly charged in his death. His name is Timothy Leaks. We'll get more into him later on down the line, as this is still a new and developing story. However, King Von was 26 years old, and he was native born to Chicago, and he ultimately passed a week before dropping his third album, Welcome to Old Town. Welcome to Old Block. Now, he was signed under Empire record label, which, if I'm not mistaken, is Little Durk's record label. So he signed under Lil Durk. So, allegedly, he was at a hookah bar in Atlanta, and they started shooting, and he was in an altercation, and him and another man, Mark Blakely, was also killed outside of this lounge bar. And yeah, and it's so many conflicting stories that goes along with it, because when it first hit, it was saying that King Von got into an altercation outside of a ATL hookah lounge, and him and two other guys got shot. And then it later came up that King Von got into an altercation, and the police later arrived, and the police shot him. And then it later came back, and it was alleged that no, King Von got into an altercation with the guys, like they said, outside of the hookah lounge, because there is surveillance video of that, of course. And after, the gunfire was exchanged between King Von and whomever was exchanging fire that was shooting at him, then the police came up and exchanged fire with whomever was shooting at King Von. And ultimately, 6 people were shot in all, ultimately. But along with King Von, Mark Blakely was also killed. And another gentleman that remains unnamed that was in this unfortunate and unnecessary death with King Von was shot. He has not been named. But it's just, it's just amazing, like how much talent and how much drive and how much enthusiasm and life these young men have, and it's gone in a blink of an eye. I mean, this young man was 26 years old, and he leaves behind children. He does leave behind children, and it's sad that now more black children have to grow up without their father. And it's unnecessary. And it's all over what? Over a beef about what? It's enough money. It's enough fans for everybody to get a piece. Like it seems like the more recognition you get, the more dangerous it gets for you. And it's almost scary to a sense that you can't even display your true passion and true talent without being subject to violence. You know, I'm from, like I say, my listeners know, yo, straight up, I'm an 80s baby. I'm born and raised in the hood. And I come from a time and era where we didn't have guns. We had fists. Like, if they had a problem, they would, throw them fists up in the middle of the street, do what they need to do, fight, and go on about their business. Whoever won, they won. If whoever lost, they lost. If you lost, you came back and you fought another day. That's literally how it was. Now it's to the point that it's always a gun got to be drawn. Someone has to lose a life, and it does not have to be that way. It really doesn't have to go that way. And then allegedly, like looking online, is this Quando Rondo claims his crew was defending itself before a brawl, before King Von shooting it. All this, it's all this nonsense. It makes no sense. Because in the end, y'all all out for the same thing, which is to make your bread, get your bag, and put a stamp in this industry that you're trying to call rap or hip hop or the game or whatever you want to make it to be. And it's just sad that this young man had to lose his life, over something that honestly possibly could have been avoided. It's the same as Biggie Smalls and our Tupac Shakurs of our times. These senseless wars and gang wars and musical talent wars that don't have to go on because it's enough room for the talent and it's enough room for everyone to display their talent. It's enough room for everyone to showcase their talent. It's enough room for everyone to shine. There's no reason for, all of this to happen. Could we just honestly think how the hip hop game would be, or how music game would be, period, if we didn't have this quote unquote East Coast, West Coast war, but we didn't have to worry about all this? Where would Tupac and Biggie be right now if we didn't have that? Like, it's unimaginable where they could be right now. And now we have King Von gone, and it's unimaginable where he could have been 20 years from now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, because we'll never get to know his talent. We'll never get to know it because now it's gone. And now we have to go on to the next rapper, which is our next rapper, MO3, which was killed on I-35 in Dallas. And his was very much just as graphic as King Von's, as report says, rapper Mo3 was desperate to get away from his killer before he was gunned down on Dallas freeway, a chase that allegedly started the minute he'd left a friend's house. Sources close to the situation tell the source, which is everybody know TMZ. Excuse me. They always get the source from somewhere, somehow, but I gotta get my due diligence and get in their props. Our source is TMZ, of course, for this situation and this situation only. I'm getting my source from TMZ. But TMZ allegedly, the Dallas-based rapper left a female companion house Wednesday morning and noticed he was being watched. It's unclear who the person telling him was, but we're told they followed him in their vehicle from the home to a gas station. Our source says that when Mo3 knew something was up, he jumped on I-35 in an attempt to lose the other vehicle. We're told that he tried to get around traffic but ended up crashing on the side of the road. That's when Mo3 got out of his car and ran for his life before the trigger man gave a chase and shot him in the back of the head. No one has been arrested for the deadly shooting. The police haven't identified a suspect yet. Mo3 was shot and killed in his hometown, where an innocent bystander was also shot and treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Mo3 died at a hospital. And it's kind of ominous because they also refer to, I guess, a video that he made in 2017. Fans are making an eerie connection between Mo3's death story and his 2017 True Story music video. It starts with him laying on a morgue table and the coroner saying she was treating a rapper who got shot in his own city. See, sometimes, you know, you have to be very careful of what you say and the energy you exert to and around yourself. And my prayers go out to his family, because yet again, this is another young man whose life was taken, and he leaves behind, yet again, children to grow up without a father. Yet again, more children to grow up without a father, more talent to not be displayed. And what was the reason behind this? What was the reason for you to follow him? Allegedly, we're going to say allegedly because we don't know. Nobody knows but him, God, and the man or persons who did this. What was the reason for you allegedly following him, chasing him running out of the car, him getting out of the car and literally running for his life, and you getting out of your car and chasing him down, allegedly, excuse me, and killing him? What was the reason? See, that's what I'm saying. And it's so mind-boggling because not only are these art rappers, they're not only rappers, but they're musicians and they're artists. When you see their videos, you're also seeing their art. When you're hearing their music, you're also hearing their art. I say that because even as an entertainer, when you hear a comedian's joke, a joke is their art. Excuse me. Get a drink of water. When you hear a play, you're hearing a screenplayer's art. You're seeing their visual art. So when you hear and see these rappers, you're hearing and seeing their art. Now, MO3 had fans. He had a label he was signed to. Now no one will hear or see what art or creativity he may have had going on 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 15 years from now. No one will know what his art may have become. Instead of looking at the negative, we also need to focus on the positive. Now see, him even putting that concept in his mind of making a video about a rapper being killed in his hometown ended up being a catalyst for his own demise. If you think negative thoughts, you know, it will project onto yourself. So my heart goes out to his family, and it is not his fault. I pray that they find the person that killed him, because yet again, this young man was young. He was a young man. Still had whole life ahead of him. He could have accomplished so much. He could have done, we could have seen his music grow, his art grow. Same as with King Von. We could have seen his music grow, his art grow. And it seems like it's just senseless violence. And it's amongst our own black people. It's amongst our own people. And it's for no reason. It's like, for some reason, it's just a burst of negative energy just balling around us. And for some way, somehow, we have to untwine from that. And don't get me wrong, it's just not only black. It's black, it's brown, it's white, it's orange, it's green, it's yellow, it's olive, it's all colors. It's humankind, it's human nature. And we're all constricted in this ball of negative energy that we really, really need to get out of. We're so used to this negativity and this negative energy that we can't do nothing but subside to it and just go with it instead of stopping it. Because we can stop this endless violence. It's just not with the black community. It's with the brown community. It's with the white community. It's with humankind. Look around us. I'm just here to point it out because it's just mind-boggling how it's back to back to back to back. And then not only this young man is killed on a freeway, Lil Boosie comes to pay respect, you know, to this young man's death, and he's shot in the leg. Like I said, I'm an 80s baby, y'all. I'm from the 80s. When you come to pay respect, you know, it's a respect thing. You coming to pay homage. It's a visual. You coming to say goodbyes. And Lil Boosie had like a little, it was a connection with MO3, because actually MO3 opened up for Lil Boosie years ago. Being an entertainer, that's something big. Like, I remember the first time I opened for another artist. Like, I remember that. Like, that's something I would never forget ever in life. That's something big. I remember every opener I've ever done. That's something big. And so, and you have connections with those artists even after the fact, after you work with them, because you do work with them again, or you are on other projects with them. And so Little Boosie coming to even pay respect to the visual that they had, a shooting breaks out. His car allegedly gets shot up. We say allegedly. We always say allegedly. And he ends up getting shot in the leg, just attending the vigil for MO3. You know, like, when will this stop? And they say sources confirmed that Lil Boosie was treated at the local hospital Saturday after being shot in Dallas. Like, when will this end? When will we stop and look at the reflection that we're giving off and see that, you know, this shit ain't right, bro? Like, when? Like, even though it was non-life threatening, it still should not have happened. Now, you had 3 men that have been shot literally within a week's time. They have been shot. 2 young men lost their lives, and 1 shot just at a visual to pay respect to 1. Are you for real? Are you serious? It's like, is this like an alternate universe? Like, when did we become so numb to heartache and grief that we care nothing for heartache and grief anymore? You know, I gotta say, I grew up where, as when even a funeral was happening, you know, the block was quiet. You know, you literally could hear a roach tap dance on paper. That's how quiet it was on the block for a funeral. Now, they will shoot up a fucking funeral. Not saying that back in the day they wasn't shooting up funerals, you know what I'm saying? They was. But now it's like more common. Like, almost as a society, we're numb to the things that we see. And it's astounding now. It's really, really astounding. That you mean to tell me that you can't even go pay respect and have a visual without possibly being shot? You know, honestly, Lil Boosie could have been another life loss. Another one. He could have been. Thank God he wasn't. You know, he was safe. He's okay. He was just, you know, injured. It was non-life threatening, but it could have went totally left in a whole different direction. Like, when will we stop? Like, for real, when will we stop and just think for a second that we as a society can do better? We can do better. And at this point, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. And I want to take this time to thank you for listening to the Mayday Mayhaim podcast. And I am your host, Mayday Mayhaim. And you can not only catch me on Anchor FM, but you can catch me on Breaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, Pocket Cast, and Radio Public. If you have a streaming device, listen to your girl Mayday Mayhaim. I would also like to take this time and thank all my sponsors and listeners' support, because without you, this podcast would not be possible. So I would like to say thank you, and I love y'all. Let's keep going on with the show. And we are back, and we are talking about the death of Mr. Glenn Johnson, which is DaBaby's brother. And he is also opening up about his plans to seek therapy after the recent death of his brother. Now, this article was written by a BET staff member. It's not saying which staff member, but I'm going to read it as it is wrote. The rapper's older brother died on Tuesday, November 3rd, after police reportedly responded to a location near northeastern Charlotte, North Carolina, where Johnson had suffered a gunshot wound, according to Fox 46. If you can't get over depression, get help. If you see loved ones struggling, get them help. They refuse to help, make them get treated anyway, he said. Thursday, November 5th, in a tweet about mental health awareness. You suffer from PTSD, take that shit seriously and get help. I'm about to get therapist my damn self. Fox 46 reported as of Wednesday, November 4th, the case of Glenn Johnson is being classified as a death investigation. It is unclear if any foul play was involved, according to, why do they always have to put them, but allegedly TMZ. The 34-year-old appeared to be distressed prior to an incident in a video that he shared on social media. Johnson is reportedly survived by 3 daughters and a son. And this is where I would like to speak on this, where my heart goes out to the Johnson family and to the Kurt family, which is DaBaby last name. You know, my heart goes out to them. And being, especially growing up black, and especially in any middle to lower class, I don't care what color you is, black, brown, white, green, orange, yellow, blue. You know how it is. Our parents don't believe in no therapy, or they didn't believe in therapy, or ain't nothing wrong with you, or, you know, it's time for us to stop that. If you need help, ask for help. You know, and it's sometimes the strongest people that need the most help. And people don't understand that. They think that, oh, they're strong, they don't need help. No, they're the ones who need the most help, because they're the ones that people think are the strongest. Now, I have no idea what Mr. Johnson was fighting or what was going on in his life. But when you are depressed, and myself, I suffer from depression. I am clinically on medication for it. It's nothing you can do. Like when you are in that depressive mode, there is nothing you can do but just try to ride that wave. Now, I can honestly say no, I have never been suicidal. No, I don't know anything about that. But depressed, yes. And depression is real. And it's nothing you really can do about it. But try to do the things that make you happy. And remember that there are people that love you and care about you. And when you are feeling that depressed feeling, to know that there is people that do care about you, and for you to reach out and talk to those people. And just because you are feeling that type of way doesn't make you any less than a person. It doesn't make you any less powerful than what you was. It doesn't make you weak by you asking for help or saying, you know what, I just need somebody to talk to for a few minutes. Do you know how many times I have called my best friend is like, look, yo, I'm having a moment. I need to talk to you. And she be like, bitch, what's wrong? I'm like, girl, I'm having a moment. She be like, bitch, lay it on me. What's the problem? And she like, that's it. We gonna work it out. Don't worry about it. And you know, just that ear is enough. And sometimes when you're going through that depressive stage, sometimes all you need is just that ear. You know, somebody just to listen to you. You know, and but also a depressed person needs to also know that there is someone that can help them. There is someone that can push through them. There is someone that will be there for them, that will, you know, listen to them. All they have to do is literally ask for help. You know, there are, you know, therapists out there. It's nothing wrong with talking to a therapist. There is nothing wrong with it. And I know at certain cultures, you know, it's kind of taboo, especially in the Black culture. Oh, no, we don't talk to therapists. No, ain't nothing wrong with me. I don't need to talk to no therapist. But no, it's good to get those feelings out. It's good to talk to someone that is going to be, how do you say, non-judgmental. It's good to have, a different set of ears just to hear your problem out, just to give you a different hindsight on how you might even how to deal with your problem or how to deal with your feelings. You know, sometimes you just need that person just to help you get your emotions in check. And that, like I said, that does not make you any less than a person. That makes you human. That's what makes us human. We're human beings. We have feelings. We thrive off of each other. We feel off of each other. Our energies pass through each other. So the more positive energy we pull out and push through, the more positive energy we push and pass on to each other. Now, if you have someone around you that's feeding you negative energy, you're not going to get nothing but negative energy back. You're not going to get nothing but negative energy in return. But if you're pushing out positive energy and positive vibes, you're going to get positive energy in return. And if you need an ear to listen to or someone to talk to, do not be afraid to ask for help. And if someone looks at you and laugh and say, "Oh, no, ain't nothing wrong with you. You correct. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You don't need no help." Those are not your friends. They are not anybody you need to be speaking to. You need to totally disconnect from them immediately and get you a new fucking group of people, because those are not the people you need to be around. Get you someone that supplies your needs for your mental health. Your mental health is the main thing that's going to help with your physical ability. It is okay to get you a therapist. Hell, my best friend, she don't know she my therapist. She has no idea. I hope she ain't listening to this podcast. The jig is up. She don't know. She gonna be having me paying her ass. You owe me. I don't owe you nothing. I heard your podcast. You ain't heard nothing. But no, all jokes aside, you know, if you need help, there are people that will listen to you. Even if you are not comfortable with talking to friends or family members, there are seriously numbers you could call. There are people that will listen to you, that total strangers, they don't need to know your name. There are numbers you could call. There are numbers to reach out and talk to someone, and they will listen. And they will even give you resources that if you want to talk to someone anonymously, they will talk to you. It's out there. I'm telling you. The information is out there. If you want the help, it's there. All you have to do is just say, "I need help." All you have to do is just say those 3 words, and the world will open up for you. And it, like I said, it doesn't make you any weaker. It actually makes you fucking stronger. It shows that I'm a person of integrity. When I say I need fucking help, I can get up and say, "Yo, bruh, I need some help." So if you feeling low, you stressed, you feeling low, you really, really need somebody to talk to, pick up that number and call it. Call a friend. Call a family member. Like I said, like if you don't have a friend or family member to call, hell, y'all have my number, call me. Call the number, the national hotline number. There are several numbers you could call. There are numbers in your county you can call. Hell, like I said, call me. I got a therapist on deck right now. Substance abuse, got a therapist on deck right now. They board certified. And I'm dead serious. There are resources. All you have to do is ask for help. So, I'm going to end my podcast on that. My heart goes out. See that my family is on my mind. My heart goes out to the family of King Von, to the family of MO3, especially to the family of Glenn Johnson, because it's help out here. If you need help, pick up a phone, call a friend, call a family, call a national hotline. Like I said, hell, if you need a therapist, substance abuse, I got people on deck that will help you out, board certified, cool peeps, non-judgmental, but it is help out there for you. There is help. All you have to do is just ask for it and know that people will listen to you. They will listen to you. And it's not about money. It doesn't take money. All it takes is an ear. Just an ear. No money. Not one dime, one red cent, nothing. Somebody just to listen to. That's it. That's all. Nothing in return, just an ear to listen to. And someone to help coax you through your mind. To coax you to get you out them negative thoughts and put positive influence and positive thoughts in your mind and get you out that negativity. So I'm going to end this podcast the way I end all my podcasts. If no one told you they love you, I do. I truly do. And I really do mean that from the bottom of my heart. Do better today than you did yesterday. And strive for a better tomorrow today. And please, people, know that you are loved. Know that you are loved. And if you need help, just ask for it. Thank you and good night.